Welcome to the 9642 podcast. This is your host, Mr. NumberNine.
And this is the Fool.
This is where me and the Fool give our
Unqualified and unrequested
ramblings on the various issues in the world of sport.
or something like that.
Hello everyone! We are back to our bread and or butter.
Yeah.
It is the round ball version of football.
Yeah. Always good.
Technically the second oldest football code. In terms of when the code was originally codified, the rules were originally codified.
Yeah.
Unless you count the Sheffield rules, which didn't have throw-ins, which I would argue, yeah, that should be what we count, but, you know, Australians get antsy when you do that. They're like, no, our code is the oldest.
It's the oldest, honest.
I'm like, yeah, it's totally not been changed. And when they mention all these other rules, they're like, no, it doesn't count. That's not the same. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Clearly not the same.
Clearly not the same. But anyway, whatever it is, the beautiful game, the world's game, we are in the beginning. We're probably fair to say the transfer window being over is when you can say the beginning of the season is like almost over. Like you're about to hit the mid-season. Mid-season peaks around Christmas.
Yeah.
And then after Christmas, it's basically towards the end. After February, March is the end game of the season.
I mean, with 5 games in, we're sort of getting, it's past the hump of the early season. Teams are starting to find their groove. So you're starting to see things sort of filter into expected patterns.
Yeah, exactly. Though there's been a few surprises so far. Not at the top, obviously. Liverpool 5-0 fuck off so far.
Yeah,
5 easy wins, 4 all of which without Alexander Isak. And spoiler alert, they got Alexander Isak.
Yeah. The most shocking development of the whole transfer window.
Yep. Absolutely nobody's surprise.
No, yeah. I did see, I think it was Maresca and others. Maresca, today or this week was pretty much, may as well give the title to Liverpool almost. Like, it's going to take a Herculean effort. They already started strong. They've brought in, they have the same squad as last year, which they won at a canter. They've brought in players that strengthen them, and they've started at a canter. So, good luck. Obviously, we're gonna do our best to keep up with them, but they've already got a 5-point gap. It's going to be a tall ask for anybody to keep up with them, really, with the way they've started.
Absolutely. They look ominous, but we have seen teams fizzle out, especially after winning the title. This Liverpool team's never gone back-to-back in the Premier League era.
Yeah.
The more important thing, I think, is, I can't see which team could compete with Liverpool. Because there were many times when Liverpool started off in a canter, but City were behind them, going slowly. And I told people, guys, just chill. City's going to win.
Yeah.
And people would look at me like I'm crazy and what are you talking about? I'm like, no, City's inevitable. What are you talking about? They're going to win. And they would.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like that about Manchester City these days.
No. They're back in 9th at the moment. Yeah.
9th, and lucky. Some would argue maybe lucky to be 9th. Some of those games that they've won, they beat Manchester United quite well. But other than that, they were lucky to get away with their win against to get their draw against Arsenal, which probably hurt Arsenal more than hurt them. We can expect, Brighton outplayed them. Spurs, you go, okay, it happens, because Spurs just are a team that seems to beat Manchester City all the time and beat Pep all the time. So that's sure that happens. But the only performance which I'd say they were good was their performance against Manchester United, who are, oof, that's it's a rough situation to be in because Manchester United are a team that have own like they've got a similar win-loss record. They're both on 7 points, which is the most damning thing. Like, sure, the Manchester United managed to beat Chelsea, um, but other than that, their only other win was against Burnley, and that was nearly a draw.
Yeah.
A game they should have won easily. Fulham, a game once again Manchester United should have won easily but didn't. Losing to Arsenal, sure, no shame in that. Arsenal are a really good team, and Arsenal did enough to win that game. Like, they didn't play at their best, but they got the job done.
Yeah, exactly.
As a Manchester United fan, I go, okay, but as a City fan, you've got to be like, why are we like the same as Manchester United? Our squad is so much better. Our coach, arguably, is so much should be considered to be so much better.
Yeah.
Like, has achieved so much more in the game, in the English game, and like the European game later on. And obviously, they're a team full of winners, even though they've aged. Like, they've done a pretty good job of replacing their aged stars. I don't think City are one of those. Like, City don't give me late era Alex Ferguson, Manchester United vibes, where I think Sir Alex Ferguson let a lot of players stay on too long. Like, they weren't quite, or at least they were the sort of players that would only be good under Sir Alex. Like, they'd be motivated to do what he said, but they're not necessarily gonna agree to. They're not gonna be singing the same tune to necessarily someone like a David Moyes, or even, and like, Manchester City's bones are good. Like, the culture of the football club in terms of like what they tend to achieve and all that is what has made them the club they are today, right? They're whatever you want to say about the 115 charges, and we have said plenty.
Yeah.
Listen to the back catalogue, and I think we've analyzed it a lot. Sometimes blatantly just quoting The Athletic, but it's The Athletic's source fault for just being a good source, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Also, nobody else goes into the minutiae like The Athletic does. They talk about every single legal precedent and how it works. And like, I know most football fans don't want to hear that, but for me, it's like, oh yeah, oh baby, keep going.
Exactly. It is very interesting, and you say they do a good job getting into the nitty-gritty of it and giving some good background and reasons for basically all the options that might be on the table.
Yeah, and looks like Chelsea are gonna get some sort of points deduction. So unlikely, I think, to challenge for a title. And I think, depending on how big a points deduction that is, it's gonna affect European placings for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Looks like.
We'll just have to win the Champions League then.
Yeah, that is probably the most viable way for Chelsea to qualify for the Champions League next season. Because Chelsea are a good cup side. As the classic, because the squad is deep, and I think Maresca's style can be good against teams that are not used to facing that particular, style.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see how what do you think so far of Chelsea's season? Like, so many weird things, like freezing out Raheem Sterling, like instead of trying to use him, when you blatantly have a big gap in that side of the field.
Yeah, no, that's just a little weird, but them being a little bit stubborn, really. I don't know. The season's been good so far.
Yeah,
like it hasn't been amazing. Maybe if we'd won the game against United, that's an extra 3 points top of where we are. That's 11 points at second, so feel a lot better. But that game was just messy. It was just like, come on everyone, like, why play our worst game against United? And
Yeah.
like,
And United are a club that's there for the taking.
Yeah.
If you concentrate.
Yeah.
You have to keep concentrating. Like, they're not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've gone through a patch of very poor concentration. It's not a game we lost over Munich, and like losing to Bayern's not, the most worst thing in the world. Like a lot of teams lose to Bayern in Munich. It's not weird, but still there was that loss to United, and then being down 1-0 in the League Cup to whoever it was.
I mean, at least you guys didn't lose to Grimsby.
Yeah, we didn't lose to Grimsby. There's that. We tried. We tried to lose to Lincoln. Apparently Mariska had a few stern words to say in the dressing room. And when they came out, Chelsea had obviously listened because they scored like twice in 5 minutes after that. So.
I like that Guardiola's thing because they were like criticizing their performance against Huddersfield, and they'd won 2-0, and he was just like, look, we can't expect us to beat Huddersfield 10-0. They're not that. I think kind of like emphasizing that the championship's still pretty good. It's not that bad. Which is sort of true. It is. I think if we count in terms of financial value, the championship is the 5th most valuable league in Europe.
Yeah.
So literally just after 5th, it might be 6th now with the French league going up, but
Yeah.
Given it's a second tier.
Yeah.
It is without a doubt the best second tier in the world.
Let's say it's second tier, and there are more than 5 countries in Europe, so.
Yeah.
Even just being in the top 10 just makes it ridiculous.
And the championship, there's knows what it is, right?
Yeah.
And the fans. It's weird to see people thinking that Guardiola should absolutely blow them away. I think he's right to be like, it's disrespectful sort of to be like, you should have beaten them 10-0 right off the bat.
Yeah, maybe they should have. At the same time, they won 2-0, so that's a win. Without having a goal scored against you, so. As you say, championship's not a bad thing, and even if there should be a gulf of class between City, who should be a top 4 side in the Premiership, and any side in the Championship, but they still have to fight for it. So it's not a give me. So
I do understand some of the criticism. Like if you compare wage, obviously Manchester City's squad wages will buy and sell Huddersfield many times over.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you've only played with 11 men. You don't play with your millions of dollars. Football's not played on bank accounts. If it was, it wouldn't be the most popular sport in the world.
Exactly. They play anyway. I mean, I suppose they still played a reasonable number of stars for City, but still not necessarily their best starting 11. So
no. But the thing is, that's standard for Carabao Cup.
I know that's what you expect, right? I mean, that was the same with Chelsea. Like the team that went out, even if it is still what went out on the ground against Lincoln, still like 10 times the value of the Lincoln team, was very much a youth-filled team, or youth-ish filled team and new members. So Garnacho got his first run. Ty George played up front. Gittins was playing. I think that's his first run on side as well. So it was Jorgensen was keeping. Not that he's new or anything, but I think that was his first time in starting in goal in a competitive match this season. So. Yeah.
But you can see Jorgensen's there to be the Carabao Cup goalkeeper, right? That's his role in the squad this season.
Yeah.
and he's gonna be great at it.
Yeah.
It's your issue is your starting goalkeeper. If only there was a really good Italian goalkeeper who had just won the Champions League who was gonna leave on a free.
If only.
If only.
If only there was something like that. I mean, if there was someone like that, that would be awesome. I mean, maybe we should like have approached him and stuff, but clearly there's no one like that. Otherwise we would have, right?
Like, hypothetically, if such a player existed, like, I'm not talking about real stuff, right?
No, this is all hypothetical.
Yeah. By the way, obviously sarcasm mode off now. I'm just like, any club that says they have an issue at goalkeeper, I'm like, hell, you guys had Donnarumma.
Yeah.
You could have gotten. Heck, Manchester City got the best goalkeeper in the championship, who was only 20 years old. Like, Burnley had the best. Burnley only conceded something like 40 goals in a 48-game season. Like, they had a ridiculous defensive season, and James Trafford basically conceded something like their expected goals conceded was something like 55, and he only conceded like 40. Like, that's how good he was in the championship last season.
Yeah, and that's crazy.
And that's the player that Guardiola just doesn't have time for. That's how ruthless Guardiola is. Like, this is the guy he convinced to come back to the club. Like, I can imagine him being so good at another club, James Trafford. Like, heck, if he was at Burnley still, I would have not picked them to get relegated. Arguably, like, having a good goalkeeper can make all the difference in a relegation battle.
Oh yes, definitely.
And like, even if he manages to like save even like 5 goals more than the expected conceded rate, that's 5 goals could be the difference between relegation and promotion, right? Like, depending on the game state, those goals come in.
Exactly. That could, you say it could depend on the game state. It could be turning losses into draws, maybe a scrappy, win here and there. Also, it's 5 less in the goal difference tally, which may matter. Like, if you're scrapping there, every advantage you can glean over your rivals matters, right? It might end on the same points, but those 5 goals may have been the difference between going up and staying down. So,
in the modern day Premier League, a promoted club's survival is earned through blood, sweat, and tears. If they can do it, there's no easy survival for a championship club going into the Premier League now. Like, it's a slog. Every week is hard, and it keeps getting harder. Like, your squad's gonna get tired. They're going to, the body is willing, and all this other stuff. They don't have the same experience.
Yeah.
But once you, if you have, like, players who are up to the task, it's still difficult to do, even with, the players available to you. Let alone giving up a player of that quality like James Trafford is.
Yeah, oh, exactly.
I mean, this is the thing, right? Like, maybe James Trafford will get a move away in the
January window.
January window, but he's not going to go to Manchester United or Chelsea. That's not going to happen. Because, as we said, Manchester City's owners are not stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, with the clubs that I feel like that are set, that we know are going to challenge for the title, are all clubs, I think, that the goalkeeping position is settled.
Yeah.
Nobody's questioning who that guy and, whether they can do better.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I feel like it's a very important part. And it's exactly that. Like, to contend, if you have a goalkeeper that you know that is trusted, is able to do the job, and it's going to be there week in, week out, then you've got something, you know that part of the field is sorted, and you can build out from that. But if that's not there, it almost doesn't matter about the rest of the field. Like, if you can't trust who's in goal, and
your goalkeeper is not trustable, you can't win games.
No.
You just can't.
No, exactly. And so it's going to fall apart, so...
Yeah, because if you're always like, we don't know if our lead is safe.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like your goalkeeper has to be this incredible shot stopper, blah, blah, blah. Like, you can be an Ederson style, really aggressive, kicking, like, distributing goalkeeper, but you know that part of his game is solid.
Yeah.
Like, Ederson...
It's the dependable part, right? It's being dependable. That people know that they're there, that they'll do their job, and that they'll do it. And even if you're a bit eccentric and things get a little weird sometimes, it's like, that almost doesn't matter as much either. Obviously, that can matter. That shows up more in the undependable types. But if people know, like, yep, you may do some weird stuff, but you'll do it at the right moments, and they can be sure that you'll be there and be like, yep, don't worry about it, goal safe. Yeah.
To be fair, goalkeepers are nuts.
I mean,
it is arguably the most, like, any form of goalkeeping, whether it's ice hockey, field hockey, Gaelic football, soccer. Goalkeepers are all the most neurodivergent people on the team. Like, I'm not just throwing that around, that's just true.
I say this with love, and maybe Nick, the goalkeeper for our hockey team, listens, I'm not sure, but hockey goalkeepers are nuts. So nuts. They're the craziest people I know. And that includes my brother, who's also one.
Yes.
Like, it takes a special kind of someone, especially for a hockey goalkeeper, even though you're padded up, to stand in the middle of a goal while people intentionally try to hit a small, round, hard object at you as hard as they can. Like, a hockey ball moves fast and it hurts. So, and you stand there and put your body in the way.
A field hockey ball is scary enough, and imagine an ice hockey puck which moves like almost 3 or 4 times, and also it's on the ground. Like, you have to be this ridiculous.
Yeah.
And people are allowed to shoulder you.
Yeah. I know, that's even more ridiculous.
Well, when I say are allowed to, I mean, like, the refs never call the rules in ice hockey. I don't understand why they have rules. Like, what is technically fighting's illegal? I'm like, is it hockey? Like, what's going on here?
Have you like, hey, ice hockey officials, have you seen a game of ice hockey? I'm pretty sure it's mostly fighting.
Like, but there are apparently unwritten rules in ice hockey. Like, if you are gonna get into a fight, you have to take your gloves off and throw down.
Yeah.
And that's when and another player has to accept that, accept your offer of a fight, and then you can fight. Which I'm like, okay, that's legit. Like,
yeah.
But, the fact that your rules impress a podcaster doesn't make it good.
Well, exactly.
It's like when rugby or rugby league guys try to sell their sport to Americans. Like, oh yeah, we don't wear pads. I'm like, Americans don't care about that, guys.
Yeah.
In fact, the fact that their players wear pads is what makes the sport more dangerous. And the so-called safety equipment. All that aside, the goalkeeping situation, like, Manchester City are the only club that I can say, like, Pep, whatever criticism you have on him, he freaking wants to win this season.
Oh, yeah.
There's no question. He's not saving anything on the tank. He's not gone, I don't know what Liverpool. He's just like, we're inevitable. We're Manchester City. We just need to get back to being inevitable again. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like any club that hasn't sorted out like a situation like that, because with something like, oh, we need a striker, Chelsea's other problem position, I'm like, okay, if Alexander Isak wanted to go to Liverpool, then there's no shot, right? But Donnarumma didn't have a club. He was like,
Yeah.
oh, go somewhere, I guess.
Yeah, I know. We'll go somewhere. Exactly. Like, I don't understand that at all. Like, just grab him, I guess. But hey.
I'm sorry, you're too good for a Champions League winning goalkeeper who replaced Buffon at Juventus?
Apparently, I don't understand it at all. Like, not even just from my club, just from any club, as you said. Like, everybody can't be complaining about goalkeeping problems this year because, as you say, Donnarumma was just sitting there waiting to be signed, and the team that went around and signed him was Manchester City, who'd also really just signed a great goalkeeper. So,
yeah, and it's craziness where people are like, oh, but we need a good distribution. Okay, fine. Donnarumma's not that great with his feet. Absolutely, you can put that on him. He's a freaking amazing everything else.
Yeah.
Goalkeeper, right? He controls his area. He's great against the high balls. He's strong. Like dominates the atmosphere around the penalty box. This is exactly. Let me point out, Manchester United. The last time they finished in a European position was with David De Gea, the goalkeeper who, it broke my heart that they basically kicked him out of the club. Didn't even get to play a final game to.
I know, that's sad.
Say goodbye to the fans and all that. And that's the season that Manchester United finished fourth in the league.
Yeah.
Season after that, sure, they won the Champions League. Oh, sorry, not the Champions. They won the FA Cup. Absolutely amazing with Andre Onana. But once again, I don't think Onana himself was the issue. I think the problem is Manchester United's defensive structure. Like, clearly the players are not that. They don't fully. Whatever it is, there's a mind blank in there. Like something's not clicking for them.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not gonna say 3 at the back doesn't work, but so far Manchester United are not the squad. Like, this isn't a Manchester United's players. DNA aren't built around that. They're built around pressing and being aggressive with the with your crosses and going, taking the ball down the wings and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Like, if there is a Manchester United style, and one of the Athletics Manchester United correspondents, Carl Anker, will vehemently disagree with the idea that there is a Manchester United style. His whole point is Manchester United's big history is basically like it's basically 2 managers who have won heaps of shit. That's not a school or a style. That's like, they're both like 30 years apart.
Yeah.
Manchester United shouldn't be married to anything. They should just be like, it's something sad in the world of football if Ajax starts playing 4 at the back. Starts playing 4-4-2. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have doesn't have that switchability or things like, or if Barcelona didn't do that. Like, there are clubs that have a club identity, like whatever, whether you agree with that or not, like that's the hill they die on, right? Like, when you're getting a youth player from Ajax, he will be an awesome passer. He will know game state. His vision around the field is going to be amazing, you know? That you don't, a player like that at Manchester United, like, there's only been someone like, Paul Scholes is one of one.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Manchester United are always like buying a player like that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you can't really call it a a school of play if it was literally just one class of players that came through, right?
Sir Alex Ferguson did win the first two Premier Leagues without that class
Yeah.
around. So he did build a team because he had to spend effectively 5-6 years getting rid of the old players because the culture at the club was bad and he needed to do a big cultural reset.
Yeah.
But then he made sure to look after the youth team and set, he knew he was following, he's like an old school manager, he was following Ryan Giggs' career since he was 8 years old. Giggsy's been at the club since he's 9.
Yeah.
And he said the first time he saw Ryan Giggs play was like watching a terrier chase a plastic bag. So love at first sight, when it comes to the his playing skill at least.
Yeah.
But that's the issue. This is the thing. I've been on record saying I think Chelsea's idea, I see it, right? I understand their model. They're just building a portfolio of assets almost that they're gonna buy and sell.
Yeah.
They want to win shit, don't get me wrong, but they also want to make sure that the players they're buying are always going to have good resale value.
Yeah.
If they don't work out. So they have to be in relatively young, and because they're not yet a winning team. I'm sure you can take bigger risks when you're a team that's already winning to buy an old veteran to make a good, great team even better.
Yeah.
Right? But you're still... you haven't won anything yet with this. The Bowley regime have not won anything yet, right? So,
other than the 2 cups last year, but
other than they haven't won the
Premier League or
the
Champions
things
League.
that count.
Yeah,
the things that count haven't been won. If you're happy with just the Club World Cup and the Conference League, that's fine with you. I wouldn't be.
No, it's okay.
It's not for me to say whether or not you should be happy with Chelsea's.
We can keep building. I'm just making sure it stays on record that we're the Club World Cup champions.
Yep. No one can take that away from you.
Nope.
But as I deftly pointed out, you guys don't have the European set.
No, can't. Missing one. They might have to bring that one back though, right? Not even whatever it wasn't even around anymore.
It's not even it's like the Cup Winners' Cup isn't around anymore. But the Cup Winners' Cup is a trophy you can hold up with pride, because that means you won the cup and then you played against every team that won the cup.
Won a cup,
season,
yeah.
In Europe and beat them. So that's an incredible. That's more impressive than winning the old UEFA Cup, which was all the teams that didn't win the league, were in the top 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Usually it was only third. It was only second and third place teams that played in the UEFA Cup.
Yeah.
Back in the day. And I get the impression that most if it was a club, the clubs that your Liverpools, your Manchester Uniteds and Arsenals didn't take the Europa League seriously enough. Or Europa League or the old UEFA Cup seriously enough. Sure, Liverpool won it a few times, but arguably every time Liverpool's won the UEFA or Europa League, they've not been a top tier club. They were a club in transition, and that was a good. So they had to basically do well in Europe to try and win, to try and salvage their season.
Yeah.
Because as I remember, famously, the 2001 campaign, Liverpool winning the UEFA Cup under Gerard Houllier.
Yeah.
Remember him? We're going back some old.
We're definitely rolling back, but yes, remember.
There's some nostalgia value here, but he. When they won that season, they did a treble, right? They won the UEFA Cup, they won the cup, they won the FA Cup. and
Yeah.
they won the Cup Winners' Cup.
Yeah.
And like some fans did, Manchester United fans did call it the Mickey Mouse treble, and that was that season was good enough that Michael Owen won the Ballon d'Or. Like that's how
Yeah.
how impressive that it was considered to be. But like everybody that season was like, oh, if Liverpool don't finish fourth, Houllier has to go. He won 3 trophies
Yeah.
that season.
It's crazy.
So, yeah, it's a bit ridiculous. But I think our teams. We're not too sure about the teams. Your team, my team, Yara's team. They're all a bit weird at the moment. But I think Guardiola is showing the most intent.
Yeah.
In terms of like, I'm still got it. I'm still determined to win. And I think he believes he can do it. He's got the squad, or else why do what he's done with James Trafford, right?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, he is Guardiola, right? He always has belief in himself. He always has belief in his teams and his squads. So
absolutely,
and that's what makes it sometimes so inevitable, right? Is that he just keeps on going, like he's going to win.
Yeah, and like this is the thing when we were talking about earlier Isak. If this was mentioned, if it was in a reverse situation, early days when Manchester City, even back in the early days, Manchester City were very much like, oh, you don't want to be here, then go. This is what we value you. Go find an offer, and we will happily take it. And and that basically keeps the culture at the club good, right? Because players are like, okay, if you want to go, that's where the door is, and like this is the format. Like, get your agent to find someone. If your agent can't find someone, then that's not our fault.
No, we're not stopping you. It also helps with the mentality around the team, right? Because if you're a winning club, if nobody's stopping you from leaving, but then it's part of why would you want to leave? We're at a club that wins. So
yeah, and also like because for years David Silva, as much as he loved Manchester City, would be like, I think this is gonna be my last Premier League season. I'm just gonna go, and then he'd just be like, I think it's just easier at City.
Yeah, just one more season.
Nonsense.
Yeah,
I don't have to. Whereas, like, I think the culture at Newcastle under the Saudi Sovereign Investment Fund is not that. Like, that is not the culture they're going for. They very much seem to be of the thing of like, we will fight tooth and nail to get what we want. Like, like the big example given was like Dean Ashworth, who was sporting director.
Mm-hmm.
Manchester United wanted to get him, and Dean Ashworth was like, yes, please.
Yeah.
And he wanted to, and he was like, let's resign, and like, because like Manchester United also took one of the commercial director, Manchester City's commercial director, and Manchester City's commercial director was like, okay, this is his buyout clause. Oh yeah, you've paid it, done.
Yeah.
See ya. Good luck. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
and like, I don't know. Like, I always think that the City approach is the right approach, because you don't want people who don't want to be there in your building, because they're just gonna spread bad vibes.
Yeah, exactly.
And I am like primarily believe vibes are more important than anything else.
Yeah.
at a team sport.
Yeah, exactly. And as I said, like, if you're building a winning culture, then you don't want to be forcing people to stay. You should be.
Yeah.
It should just be the default position. They say, why would you go somewhere else? You don't want to win. You want to go play for this. So I hope they're paying you better, because you're not winning anything. We're winning it all. So.
Yeah, and also like, when a player falls out with Guardiola, he's basically like, well, my way or the highway, and also.
Don't like it, you can leave. It's fine. Go find yourself another club. Yeah.
He's not even like the kind who goes, "Oh, you got to train by yourself," and freeze you out. If you've not done anything, if you're just like, "Look, I think I want to move on and find another club," because City will go, "Okay, fine."
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
if you'll get opportunities if they arise here, but if you're
Yeah.
not happy with that, your whatever shop window you get, you can use that to try and get the move you want.
Yeah, yeah.
We are neither hindering nor helping you move.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm not on board with the whole freezing out thing either. It seems a little weird, so...
Yeah, I mean, unless there's a genuinely bad
Yeah.
behavior from the player, that's
Yeah,
different.
yeah, yeah, that's different. Like, that's disciplinary, right? That's its own thing, really. Like, if you have to... If there's a need to have some sort of disciplinary action, then, and part of that is, yeah, freezing out or training alone, then that's what that is. But that's a different matter than just, we don't want you in the first team anymore, we don't know what to do with you, so go train over there by yourself.
I mean, with Chelsea, would you even know you're frozen out? Like, there'd just still be players on the field because there's so many players at the club.
Exactly. I mean, they sort of did that last year, where they had the main squad train at one point, and they had the 20 billion other players that brought training separately from Maresca's, main
There's
squad.
literally not enough room, but
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, but that's not freezing someone out. That's
No,
actually that's just you got a bad hand. You're playing it how you can play it. Like,
Yeah,
there's not
exactly.
much you can do.
Yeah. As you said, there's literally not enough space to have everybody train, so you sort of had to have this squad and that squad. You guys are on the main team, but not in the same squad. Like, you can't.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, like, what's happening with Sterling and Dialli, just...
Like a lot of your Dialli and players who, your former captain Calvin Phillips, who's literally done nothing wrong. He's been absolutely great servant for Chelsea
Yeah.
Football Club. Is from pretty much childhood. Doesn't want to leave,
No,
and they're like, okay, well, fuck you.
that's even weirder. It's just like, come on, guys, like, just straight up, don't be dicks. Like, how hard is it?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a weird situation. Like, and you don't see any of that at Liverpool. You're not seeing any of that at Arsenal at the moment. So, which is why those are the clubs that look like the best to challenge. Like Spurs is always difficult to say.
Yeah.
Like, when is the inevitable Spursiness coming, or is it never coming? We don't know. Has there been a disturbance in the force? now?
Who knows?
As I did point out to the great cricketer, that Spurs winning the Champions League was proof that South Africa was going to win the World Test Championships, and they did.
And they did,
right?
Yeah. Wasn't enough disturbance in the force for the Warriors to win the NRL, but
Yeah.
that is a large disturbance needed. So I'll accept that might be beyond even Spurs to influence.
Yeah. They're like, we're just Spursy, man. That's not.
Not
We can't
miracle
produce
makers.
miracles. Yeah. Actually, to be fair, they're from South England. They'll be like, rugby what?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that was the problem.
There's a sport called rugby league. What? And yes, it is the greatest game. I don't care what you say.
No great complaints for me.
So let's go do our marks. Obviously, Liverpool A so far.
A plus. I mean, have they put a foot wrong?
They lost the Charity Shield to Crystal Palace.
Fair enough. Okay, A then.
A.
1 mark down.
Arsenal. Well, I think A minus.
A minus.
Spurs, given it's a new setup and everything.
A?
I think A. Yeah. Bournemouth, obvious A.
A, yep.
Crystal Palace, obvious A. Still
Obvious.
undefeated. Still undefeated for 17 games. They're on an undefeated run of 17 games at the moment.
Oh, go Crystal Palace, yeah, definite A.
So the Palace are doing it. I think we can just go. Chelsea is probably a B plus at this point.
That's what I was thinking, B plus.
Sunderland, we have to give them an A. They're
Yeah.
in the top half of the table.
Exactly.
The Fulham, I think once again B. This is roughly where we'd expect them to be. B plus.
Yep, B. I think B. It's roughly where we expect them. So.
Yeah, Manchester City and Manchester United. I think we can both just give them C minuses.
C minus.
There's something there.
Yeah.
Like
I was thinking they're still top half.
Pep because of his standards. This is a C minus, right? We're giving.
Yeah. I was thinking between C minus and a C. Like they're still vaguely top half. They're within a game of second. A win of second place. Like it's.
Yeah.
Early, there's a lot of they're low down the table, but we talked about at the beginning, like it's later part of the early season and things are starting to sort of find shape. But like we've gone from Arsenal down to Leeds underneath Manchester United. That's a 3-point change, and that's 10 teams. So like I'm more willing to give City and United a C for that, just on the grounds like still low numbers, so part of that's just not scoring enough goals.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Man United goes to C minus. They did lose to Grimsby. They are on a -2 goal difference, so compared to City, so are on +4 goal difference, but.
Manchester United do have one of the highest XGs at the moment in the Premier League. Proving the value of XG as a stat.
Yeah, proving it completely with their 6 goals.
Yeah. But they have been getting lots of chances, but that's because they played against Burnley.
Yeah.
And this is in Premier League only, so they played against Burnley and they played against Chelsea, who were not defensively solid in that game, shall we say.
And that was definitely our worst defensive game of the season so far.
And Manchester City has the second highest XG, and obviously they played against United where they scored 3 goals, and then they played against Wolves where they scored 4 goals. So
that helps.
That helps. So I think C minuses. Everton B at this point of the season.
B plus, 10th place.
B+.
I know. I was just talking about it, but they're within touch of the top there. So I'm willing to give them B plus. Everton's been flirting-ish with relegation-ish last few years, so it feels like, I know the end of last season they sort of showed that wasn't really a thing anymore, but I think the start of the season so far has sort of shown that they're back to good old solid dependable Everton.
Well, David Moyes is back.
Yeah, exactly.
He went to get a newspaper 20 years ago, and then suddenly he's back. He's like, what do you mean? I was always going to come back with this newspaper.
Exactly. What are you talking about?
And everything's fine, because, Dad's back. And he's got the newspaper.
Yeah, just like he said.
Yeah. He didn't do anything wrong at all.
Nothing at all.
And I think the thing is, Chelsea, Everton have a good coach now, and they have a decent squad, and they will be getting enough money to build a squad, because their owners, the San Francisco 49ers, who own, are going to invest a lot in the squad now that the stadium is paid for, which is basically they were like, we'll buy the club if we'll invest into the club if they buy the stadium.
All right, yeah.
If they agree to the stadium project, and we will contribute a bit to that. And like the stadium looks like it's incredible.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and they've got one over their crosstown rivals because they're going to be hosting a Euro fixture, not Anfield.
All right. Yeah. Nice.
Same with in Manchester, because the Etihad is going to host um, the fixture, Manchester fixtures, not Old Trafford,
All right.
which is more understandable because Old Trafford is basically everybody thinks it's a dump, and like the Etihad is supposed to be an incredible stadium.
Yeah.
Like people, who do stadium experience reviews and everything are basically just like, yeah, going to the Etihad is awesome,
All right. Yeah.
and it's a great, and like for the fan experience, they like look after you,
Oh, that's good.
which is given it how much you pay for going to these games.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
would hope.
You would hope so. Like, that's almost the whole purpose of stadiums, especially of ones of that size, right? Is to ensure the fans have a good experience and can watch the game and
Yeah.
enjoy themselves. If you're worried about just the game itself and players being able to play on things, you don't need a big stadium around it. You just, what's down on the ground is the important bit. So.
Yeah. So that was our thing for. What do we give Leeds? A?
Yeah, I'm happy with the day for Leeds. I mean, they're a promoted team. They're doing very well. They've more than a game ahead of 18th, so 4 points clear of relegation, 5 games in. That seems pretty good.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So far they've given themselves a lot to look forward to this season.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think Sunderland and Leeds will both get relegated. Boo.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to be romantic and all this. It's not gonna happen, okay? But it's good to see they're actually putting up a bit more of a fight.
Yeah.
But I don't know. One of the things teams might stay down because there's a certain club we're gonna get to at the very end. Maybe 2 clubs at the very end.
Yeah.
Newcastle. I mean, plus.
See?
Very disappointing. Also, freezing out Alexander Isak had a terrible impact on their squad.
Yeah. C minus.
Yeah, I think Eddie Howe tried his best to keep the squad on a good headspace, but I think it's affecting them
Yeah, definitely.
badly. But that's a club issue. I don't think that's an Eddie Howe issue. Excuse me.
Yeah. No, I think that is definitely all club as opposed to coach.
Yeah.
So.
Next up, we go to Brighton. Obviously, they've beaten City already.
Yeah.
Only 1 win so far, but they sometimes start a bit slow in these seasons. So we'll see how it progresses. Now, next club we get to is Nottingham Forest. I have to give them an A, at least because the off-field they managed to kick Crystal Palace out of the Europa and got that spot.
Yeah. It's still
and
good.
as I mentioned, as sympathetic as I am with Crystal Palace fans, Crystal Palace's ownership kind of screwed themselves over.
Yeah. Like, it's all on Crystal Palace. Like.
Yeah.
I think as we were mentioning when talking about it, like, last time, they were given everything. They were explained exactly how to make sure nothing would go wrong, and they didn't manage to do it. So.
Yeah. And for reasons that are entirely their own fault.
Yeah, it's all on them. Like, nobody has to blame. Can't say there was ambiguity. Can't say instructions unclear. It's like instructions clear to the point.
UEFA sent you many emails with clear instructions and specific warnings, going, "Hey guys, you need to look at this. Otherwise, you're not going to play in the Europa League next year." And they're like, I'm in the
dear.
money.
Yeah.
But so we gotta give that to Nottingham Forest. Burnley out of the relegation zone, so at least you gotta give at least a B minus for that,
Yeah, exactly.
even though they have less points than games.
Yeah.
At this stage of the season already. Brentford, we already knew that they were gonna take a bit of time under a new coach to
Yeah.
do the. Let's see, I think C minus at this stage.
Yeah.
Aston Villa, is this our first F?
Just about has to be, right?
Yeah, like really bad.
Yeah.
Really bad. F minus for West Ham so far?
Yeah,
Oh
I
no,
think.
they've won a game. No,
Oh, they
they've
have.
won a game.
Oh, they won a game. Yeah. D minus then, I guess. They get
Yeah.
a bit of
Yeah.
a credit for having won a game.
Yeah.
I mean, had 13
I
goals
don't-
scored against them, but won a game. So.
My thing is, I don't blame Graham Potter here. Like, West Ham's ownership are nuts.
Yeah.
And the situation in the club with the London Stadium, which doesn't work well for them. Like, it's a situation where nobody's happy.
Yeah.
The West Ham fans are not happy because there has to be a track, which means the game experience is terrible. And
Yeah.
West Ham's owners aren't happy because the rule they made with the borough where the stadium's located is that they would the borough gets to keep all hospitality and half of like things merchandise sales made at the stadium.
Mhm.
Their shops, so they get to keep a cut of that, which obviously West Ham doesn't like that they have to share that.
No.
But the council also doesn't like it because they've agreed to cover a lot of the costs of running the actual stadium,
All right. Yeah.
which means it runs at a net loss for the council as well. So nobody's happy in
Nobody's
this
happy.
situation. It's really different to, like, back in the day, obviously I used to give Manchester City a lot of shit for like, oh look, you guys got gifted you won the lottery twice, you got gifted a new stadium
Yeah.
by the city of Manchester, and you got like cool new owners. But turns out they didn't get gifted a new stadium. They were they were basically begged by the Manchester City Council to move to the city of Manchester Stadium because they're like, look, we need this stadium to like after the Commonwealth Games, we need this stadium to, like we don't want the stadium to become a white elephant, blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
And then Manchester City were like, okay, we're not paying for the building of the stadium, but we will pay half of the costs for changing it into a football stadium. So remove the track and everything and turn it into a full proper football stadium.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they went halves on that. So that, and back in 2001, that was $27 million, which, by the way, Manchester City could have used that money, 27 million in that season, to purchase someone like Dwight York
Yeah.
or Alan David Beckham went to. Not saying David Beckham would have gone to
No.
City, obviously, but like David Beckham's fee to go to Real Madrid was only 25 million. As a comparison,
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I mean. You were saying you had Dwight York and Dwight York and someone else because like Beckham's 25. That's that, but he was like the most expensive player at that point.
Well,
so.
That happened just after the ITV deal with a lot of football leagues had collapsed, so the market had basically crashed.
Yeah.
But still, like you compare, like that's a decent amount of money back in the day.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't. They were definitely not given "quote unquote" a free stadium.
No.
And also, like, if they kind of did it grudgingly because they didn't want to leave Main Road, and they still complain about leaving Main Road. Like, why did we do it? So there you go. West Ham, unfortunately, in a situation where they did actually get given a free stadium, which they don't even have to pay to maintain. City pay for maintaining the Etihad, and they've invested another. I think the current City ownership group have invested another 50 to 150 million in not the stadium, but around the area to build up the campus around, like
All right,
regenerating the area around that stadium. The more cynical of us, including me, would say that's for sports washing reasons, but they've done it. They've spent the money.
They have.
And finally, we have to give them an F-, right? Wolves.
F minus minus?
Are Wolves going to be relegated? I don't think so. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I just say, like, somehow Wolves always pull it off.
Yeah,
We just...
I know, I think I said they were getting relegated.
Only 5 games.
It's only 5 games. I'm pretty sure I said they were getting relegated, and so far, I'm feeling validated.
Yeah, yeah.
I know I've said it for
Definitely.
like 5 or 6 years in a row, but I'm feeling like this year might be the year. So they're not looking particularly good.
Yeah, yeah.
And with Sunderland looking very good, maybe Sunderland manages to stay up at the expense of Wolves. So
We'll see.
hmm.
We'll have a better idea at the halfway mark during our Christmas December segment. But at
Definitely.
this point, Wolves and West, the W clubs are not in a good situation.
No.
I'm sure if West Brom was in the Premiership this season, they'd be in the bottom 3 as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Aston Villa's like pretending to be West Brom.
Yeah. Aston Villa pretending to be their local rivals.
Yeah. Just
West Brom.
somehow like just needing to show the love.
Yeah. And it's so weird, Aston Villa. I don't know what's up with it, but it's weird.
It is very weird. I mean, the
Yeah.
problem is not scoring goals, right? So, like, the question is why not? But, like, that's their problem. They scored 1 goal, so, and that was that's the draw last week against Sunderland. So, 10-man Sunderland even. So,
yeah, exactly. They're not in a great situation.
No.
Now, because like we had many a podcast talking about issues. Like I think what I say is like Manchester United just have a toxic culture, but they have so much money and so much good vibes from fan culture that it's okay. Arsenal club culture is good, but fan culture is toxic. Which is fine because fans don't control anything.
No.
In English football. Tottenham Hotspur, which is weird that Levy's left, but Tottenham Hotspur, like, whatever you can say about the results in terms of their trophy winning, in terms of how the club is run, it's basically peerless in world football. Like, they were not a top 6 club when Levy bought them. They became effectively for a while a top 4 club, winning regular Champions League qualifier, and they obviously they moved into a really expensive stadium in the middle of in like North London with their own money. You know, obviously they managed to buy at a good time when interest rates were low, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, good business is good. This is what I'm praising them for. Like Spurs, Liverpool, obviously, Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester City. The vibes and the culture are like awesome. So you always expect them to come back. Like your others, like Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, Brighton, and Brentford are all a bit dependent on the owners, right? Like what's gonna happen once this owner either like wants to retire from like being active so much at the club or like wants to sell on. What's gonna be the situation? Manchester United, West Ham, Wolves, and Nottingham Forest. Like the culture is clearly toxic, but Nottingham Forest make it work. Somehow. Aston Villa, like culture is fine. I don't understand why it's a situation. Like you seem to be like they don't seem to have an issue in the. Like Everton, like everything's toxic, but it works somehow because it's Everton, right? Like
they're almost built on the toxicity. It's like
yeah.
how they evolved.
And like Newcastle, too early to tell with their current ownership.
Yeah.
Fulham, I think once again it's weird because they obviously punch above their weight in the Premiership, but you feel like they could do so much better. But you know, their owner owns the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's hard for me to think of them having a good culture, like organizational culture, given how bad that franchise has been. But I think he runs Fulham a lot differently.
Yeah.
And
The
he
vibes I
wants-
get from Fulham is that it's run really well. But
Yeah. They've
yeah.
had the one relegation under his ownership, but since then they've been pretty much top tier.
Yeah, exactly. And they bounced back from that pretty good. It didn't really rip the club apart or anything, right? So they stayed together, they bounced back up. So
it helps when you have Mitrovic.
I mean, yeah, it does.
Something great, like either having a great goalkeeper or a great striker, that makes things easier, right?
Yes.
Like, it's just the way it is.
Yep.
But yeah, this is the Premier League. Shall we move on to the most exciting league in the last 5 years? I never thought I would say this 10 years ago, but Serie A.
Yeah.
Back at the top. We might finally get a back-to-back champion since Juve completed their 10 or 9 seasons in a row of winning.
Oh, however many, yeah.
Juve, like, I'm sure if you're like me and you live on football social media, especially the podcast sphere, we've been hearing heaps of people go on and on about the problems in Italian football. At this moment, looks like they might not even qualify for the World Cup. 3 World Cups in a row without the Azzurri.
That is, yeah, wow.
Serie A has been incredibly exciting, but their clubs have all got different types of financial problems. Primarily, obviously, because other than Juventus, none of them own their stadiums, and it's a complicated issue, which obviously... There's a great video HITC7s have done, and there's great podcast by The Athletic and Tifo. They'll explain it better than me. Like, I would refer you to them. But at the moment, we've got Napoli on the top. Napoli, like, probably the most unique club in Italy, owned by an Italian owner, a former film director, who used his money to bring them all the way back up from the 4th tier to winning the title again.
Yeah.
And winning it twice, and they're so far top of the table.
Yeah.
Looking great, undefeated. Juve, hot on their heels, 10 points. AC Milan on 3rd. AS Roma on 4th. Excuse me, with Claudio Ranieri. So, we're not going to do a Ranieri watch. We'll be watching a different ex-Chelsea manager, and Atalanta, 5th place.
Yeah.
Like, potentially, because I think we have to look at top 5s with these top 4 leagues, because they could end up being Champions League spots. I do expect Inter to go back up after a couple of a few more rounds. It's only been 4 games so far. I don't expect them to stay as low as they are. Bologna as well, I think they will improve as the season progresses. And usual suspects, your Lazio, your Udinese. But good to see little Cremonese, 8 points up there, still undefeated. Let's see how you do, little Cremonese.
Yeah. See how that.
I'm gonna follow you to see if you. Hopefully, you won't get relegated, and hopefully, my beloved Parma will also not get relegated. After coming back into Serie A after so long. Now, next up we have the La Liga at the moment. With having played 6 rounds already, or at least the Real Madrid they've on 18 points, undefeated so far. Xabi Alonso doing Xabi Alonso things, not getting beaten in his first full season at a club. And Their currently goal difference of 11, which is
Yeah.
impressive, except Barcelona have a goal difference of 13, having played one game fewer. They're also undefeated so far,
Yeah.
and Barcelona probably have the player everybody thinks is the best player in the world in their squad at the moment.
Other than the people who choose the Ballon d'Or, yes.
Yeah. No, to be fair,
No,
I agree that
I do agree with them.
I think Dembele was the best player in the
Yeah.
last calendar year. Absolutely.
Oh, it was last
Uh,
season, so it was meant to be the
last
whole.
yeah,
Yeah, the whole season. So,
last season, whole of the last season, yes.
and he was definitely the best. Yeah.
Yep. Like his team won the Champions League. Come on.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas like Lamine Yamal, well, obviously he'll have his chances. It's interesting that I think Lamine Yamal was probably not even Barcelona's best player
No, I was saying,
last season, because I think Rafinha was their best player last season.
that's what I was gonna say. Like, I felt like Rafinha got a little hard done by. He was, it was fifth overall in the rankings. Like, that seemed low for him for basically being the most goal contributions, whether it's assists or goals. So
Yep. He's had an incredible season. There is online rumors that Barcelona intentionally didn't campaign for him and campaigned for Lamine Yamal, not just because Lamine is a La Masia product, obviously, but because Rafinha, there was a clause in his contract that if he won the Ballon d'Or while at Barcelona, they would have to pay Leeds United another $20 million. And I think Barcelona are like, we're not pulling that lever.
No.
There's just too many.
Oh, that's crazy.
Because usual times, Barcelona would just be like, Ballon d'Or winner at our club? Yes, please. We don't care how much it costs. But now they're like, no, we care what that costs.
Yeah, that might cost a little bit too much.
Third place, we have the Yellow Submarine, Villarreal, also on 13 points, but they've played one more game against Barcelona. They've lost the one game. And the Barcelona's crosstown rivals, Espanyol, on 11 points, also having played 6 games. So Barcelona have a game on hand on all of the top 5, because Atletico have also played 6 games with 10 points so far. Yeah, this is a really interesting top 5 at the moment. I do think sorry, no, that's not Atletico Madrid.
No,
that's Athletic Club.
Sorry, yeah.
It's Athletic Club. So Bilbao are currently on 5th place. Followed then by Getafe, Aichi, Real Betis. Then we get Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, on 9 points. So
9 points from 6 games, so they are definitely in a slow start, but they've kind of turned around their recent form, because I just saw that Julian Alvarez did score a hat-trick recently against Rayo Vallecano, so...
Looks like they must have lost their first game, Atletico, and then they've been undefeated since then. 2 wins, 3 draws, plus that 1 loss at the beginning.
Fair enough, but yeah. We know how La Liga will score out. You will see the usual suspects in the top 4, I think. Yeah. I would be shocked if Athletic are not in the top 4 somehow. And then we've got, I think I would say probably Villarreal or Athletic Club will take one of those European spots. They're just so experienced at this level, and they've just come off some good European seasons, so there is money in the bank for them to spend.
Yeah.
Though nowhere near as much money as obviously the Premier League spends.
Yeah.
On the other side of La Liga, we've got Girona, last season's darlings, in the bottom of the table.
Yeah.
Don't worry, they're owned by City Football Group. They're not going to get relegated, probably.
Probably.
I've got Mallorca, Real Oviedo, Levante, and Sociedad in like the bottom 5.
Yeah.
I think it's too early to call any of these teams for relegation. Like the gap between last place and Osasuna at 6 is Osasuna at like
13th on 6
points. 13th. Yeah, 6 points. Basically 4 points there.
Yeah.
And Ovidio have a game in hand there. If that game is against Barcelona, we can probably count that as a loss. But
Yeah. I think that would be. Nobody else's. Oh no, there is some others.
no, there's
Uh,
Osasuna and Aiche as well.
oh right, yeah. So there is a couple of them to play.
That's the news from Spain. And we go to the Bundesliga. At the moment, to nobody's surprise, top of the table, undefeated FC Hollywood itself, Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
And I'm shock horror, Borussia Dortmund second,
Wow.
also undefeated.
Who would imagine?
Who would imagine? Oh look, Leverkusen back in mid-table.
Shock horrors. This table, the Bundesliga's just gone topsy-turvy.
Yep. RB Leipzig there on third. Once again, nothing unusual here. But that's when things start changing. FC Köln back in the top 4 of the Bundesliga. Don't expect them to stay here, by the way, but they're absolutely going to take their chances now. St. Pauli also promoted into the Bundesliga along with Hamburg SV. So we are going to get a Hamburg derby this season between the two.
Nice.
There's Eintracht Frankfurt and Freiburg. I don't know. I would love to see Freiburg get all the way up to a Champions League spot just because they play such an interesting style of football. But I don't know. It's probably going to be Leverkusen, right? Like it'll be Leverkusen eventually.
Yeah. Eventually. You know it.
Yeah, and then we have our 2007 Bundesliga champions VfC Wolfsburg and 2008 Bundesliga champions Werder Bremen down in the lower end of the table with Mainz between the two. But the bottom we've got FC Heidenheim 1846. I'll admit I know nothing about other than they're probably founded in 1846. And we've got Germany's most popular, well-supported football club, Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Yeah.
And the bottom there, promoted last season obviously into the Premier from 2 Bundesliga into the 1 Bundesliga, and then Augsburg and Hamburg are just outside the bottom 3. So fingers crossed, Hamburg.
Yeah.
You're a European champion. You should be in the you should be in the first league, top division. Moving on from the leagues, but Bundesliga, like, are we Italy is the thing where we're like, oh, it's gonna be interesting. It's already looking really close and interesting in that top 4.
Yeah.
Everything to play for. Whereas we're already like, Bayern,
Yeah. Bundesliga is you say Serie A, that's where you go for the excitement, the unpredictability, everything. Bundesliga is just, that's your meat and sausages, or sausages and potatoes, right? You get what you know you're going to get. You know, Bayern's at the top. Every now and then they may be second. Oh, that's spicy. But yeah, between Bayern, Dortmund, Leipzig, this at the moment Leverkusen's providing a little bit of spice by being a bit low, but generally it's the same ones at the top. There's a little bit of mix of just exactly the order, a little bit of some other team being up a bit higher and having a good start or having a good patch during the middle of the year or something, but it's predictable.
Pretty much the issue with everything we love about the Bundesliga and how great German football is, the way it's set up with the 50+1, etc., etc. The flip side of 50+1, like I always tell people, especially like when I talk to cricket podcasters who go on about, let's build up especially when they point out the new English county system where they're going to be selling off. The counties are going to be selling 49. They're going to keep 50+1 of the shares into hands of the club with its members, and they're going to sell the rest off for capitalizing, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, guys, It's not a silver bullet. Look at Schalke. They're 100% owned by the club. They're a basket case. And also, by the way, Bayern Munich are Bayern Munich. 50+1 is one of the reasons why nobody will ever compete with Bayern Munich in Germany. Realistically, long term. Like, Bayern will miss the occasional season or go maybe 4, even 5 years, but they'll be back.
Yeah, even that 4 or 5 years seems at the moment like an eternity.
I mean, they've done that in my lifetime, so I can't say that won't happen.
No. Good point.
Because remember, like, that weird time when we had Wolfsburg, Werder Bremen, just like I was saying, and then back-to-back Klopp with BVB.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, sorry, that's Stuttgart as well. So it was 5 years, literally, and then Bayern came back and won. And then they also won the Champions League that season.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. We are skeptical about some things when it comes to German football. We should be skeptical about some things about German football. Well, how it's structured doesn't necessarily suit everything.
Yeah.
Suit everyone. Now, it's not a silver bullet, is what I would say. But it's still great. It's still awesome. Moving on, we're going to talk about the Champions League. So we know fixtures and the table at the moment. Top of the Champions League table is Eintracht Frankfurt. Everybody's only played the one game.
Yeah.
Absolutely small sample size, but they won. They've got the most goals, etc. We'll go through the results. Obviously, Arsenal, impressive win against Athletic Club in Bilbao.
Yeah.
So, basically, well on the way to try and secure that top 8 position. PSV Eindhoven lost to Union Saint-Gilles, who you see just across the border in Belgium, so they're not going to be happy about that. Beaten well as well by USG. Jose Mourinho's first European game in charge for Benfica, lost to FA Karabag from Azerbaijan, who also lost in Benfica's home stadium in Lisbon.
I think that was before Jose was. I think that was the game that they sacked their previous manager for.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they lost that and they sacked their manager and hired Jose.
Fair enough. Then we can't.
If I remember correctly. I can't find my source on that, so...
So for now, we'll just say it was Jose, just to be funnier.
Yeah, it's funnier that way, but I'm pretty sure that's what caused Jose to go there, or to be asked to go there.
That sounds about right. This is like a blast. Next game's a blast from the past, from the 90s. Borussia Dortmund and Juve would play the 1997 Champions League final, and that season ended up playing each other 3 times before the final. Wow. In competitive fixtures. In the last 2 seasons previously, they played each other 3 times in Europe.
Wow.
Before playing again in the final. So they have this long history of playing against each other. But 4-4 at the Allianz Stadium in Torino.
Yeah.
I'm sure Dortmund are going to be happy with that, to steal a point, especially against Juve. Real Madrid, tough performance at home to 2-1 against Marseille, and look, Spurs just get the job done against Villarreal.
Yeah, exactly.
1-0. Yeah. And then the next day's fixtures, we had Olympiacos play against Paphos, who the 0-0, Slavia Prague playing against the mighty Bodo Glimt.
Yeah.
2-2 in Czechia, so good performance there from Bodo Glimt, but obviously they're now European veterans.
Yeah.
It's a great, interesting story. Obviously, Bodo Glimt, they're not owned. It's basically 2 different villages merged their clubs together, at grassroots level. Like, the people from the villages talk to each other, and they built it up. And it is a community club, sort of. It's got members. It's fan owned. It's not got a rich benefactor.
Oh wow.
And they're in the top of the Arctic Circle. So
yeah.
That's great performances from them. Ajax losing badly to Inter, but yeah, I think Ajax are going through a rough time at the moment.
Yeah.
Bayern Munich beating Chelsea 3-1, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Like, just standard stuff we expect from Bayern at this point of the season. Like, I do think Chelsea will rally. Even if they don't finish top 8, I don't expect them to not qualify for the second round. Then we have Liverpool played Atletico Madrid. Awesome, tough game. Liverpool constantly coming back and then eventually getting the winner against Atletico. Obviously, they're at home in Anfield. And then Paris Saint-Germain, like, opening up their defense with style, 4-0 against Atalanta. Can't ask for more than that.
No.
Then we go all the way to Belgium. Club Brugge showing their class, 4-1 against AS Monaco.
Yeah.
Definitely a team, I think, that would be looking to... So from memory, I know we did a whole segment on how the UEFA Champions League... The current format means the teams that don't make it to the second round don't get a second chance in the Europa League, do they?
No, not at all.
But the teams that make the second round and lost their leg do get to go into the Europa League, or they're also out?
I think they're also out.
There's no... Yeah, so the modern format, there's no teams coming up from the top.
No. Yeah, you don't have anybody dropping down from a league above. It's just who you start with in your league is who you end with.
Yeah. Which is actually probably makes it more straightforward to try and figure out
Yeah.
your path to the final and things like that. So Bruges, once again, as I said, 4-1 against Monaco. FC Copenhagen, 2-2 against Leverkusen.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Erik ten Hag was still in charge at that point, but he was fired from Leverkusen recently.
Yeah.
So might be that was the straw.
I think that might have been the straw as well, but he was pretty much on his way out.
Then we have Eintracht Frankfurt winning 5-0 against Galatasaray. So what you expect from Frankfurt? Frankly, they've been really good in Europe the last few seasons. They've won a Europa League and also like Conference League final appearance. And then we have Manchester City 2-0 against Napoli. Just gets the job done. Bread and butter. Like, this is why I'm like, Pep's gonna be back.
Yeah, exactly.
Pep will just bring it out eventually. There's enough games in there for Manchester City to get their rhythm back.
Exactly.
And then in Newcastle, very disappointing because they led for most of that game, and then Lamine Yamal does Lamine Yamal things.
Yeah.
And then we got Sporting Club, who managed to get a 4-1 win against Kairat Almaty from which country, Adam, without Googling?
Damn it, I forgot.
Obviously, it's in Almaty, which is in...
Oh, I know that too. Which one is that one? Let's go... I'm guessing. Let's go with Kyrgyzstan, but you tell me.
So Almaty is in... it's the former capital of Kazakhstan. And Kyrgyzstan is not even in UEFA. Come on. It's in It's in one of the Central Asian stands, but it's not part of UEFA. And Kazakhstan have this have like a thing because they've like got a small amount that is on the other side of the Ural Mountain. So they're like, we're in Europe. We can join European stuff.
Kazakhstan's like, please.
Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan, and Tajikistan and Uzbekistan are all told to be like, no, you can't.
No.
Go away. Actually, to be fair, all the Central Asian countries were given a choice to join UEFA or Asia, and initially Kazakhstan did join Asia, but they switched to UEFA later on.
Alright.
Basically, most of their I think most of their business and stuff was being done with European countries, so they're like, makes sense for this neighborhood.
Fair.
But yeah, that is currently our the results. The table is it's literally one game.
Yeah.
I do who just early on. I'm just gonna make you call it now. Who's gonna win the Champions League?
Chelsea, obviously.
Obviously, other than Chelsea.
Other than Chelsea. I don't know. Can't really go past Barca, Real Madrid, PSG, even Man City. Like, these are all teams that are going to be there or thereabouts at the end of this.
Yeah.
If I was putting money on, I think I'd go Real Madrid.
You're gonna go Real Madrid.
Yeah, it's pretty standard, I know. It's like, I'm not going too
Okay.
far away from a what could be counted as a safe bet.
I feel like Barca are back.
Alright.
Lamine Yamal, he's gonna do it.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna pick Barca for the.
They're playing really
for
well, but
the-
I was still feeling like it's maybe still another year before that Barca
Because
team
I
really
think-
hits their straps, but
I think because Real Madrid are gonna run away with Serie A. So Barca's
La
gonna
Liga.
focus on the Champions League. Sorry, La Liga,
Yeah.
And
that
and
makes
they're
sense as
gonna-
well. Yeah.
so if we go to the Europa League table, it's less obviously less interesting for us this season because none of our teams are in there. But amongst the Premier League teams, Nottingham Forest started off their campaign with a draw. Aston Villa are yet to play a game.
Yeah. They've only
So
had the
far?
one round of their rounds this week, right? So
Yeah,
only
they're
had the
rounds
one
of
set
this
of
week.
games. So.
Yeah, and those are the two English clubs in the Europa League. Let's see. But that does sound correct to me.
Yeah, it should be two, right?
Given there's 6 in the Champions League.
Yeah, exactly. It should be two, right? Makes
Yeah.
sense. So you're not impressed
Um,
Aston Villa. I don't think anybody else. No.
Yeah. And obviously the Conference League has Crystal Palace, who I think are gonna win the Conference League.
Yeah.
Just because they've gotten everything. Like this season seems to be like a Palace destiny season. But who is gonna win the Europa League? I know we talked a bit about Aston Villa and they're not having the great season. Neither are Nottingham Forest.
No.
And there has to be some karma for Nottingham Forest doing what they did. Like, to be fair, I don't think they did anything wrong.
I feel like it sort of has to be Nottingham Forest just to like reverse karma it or something because it's like so brazen.
Nottingham-
It's like
So
Nottingham Forest,
Nottingham Forest wins the league and then followed straight. Oh, with Ange, right? Right. And then
Yeah.
next season he wins the Champions League for them. Because he always wins something in his second season.
Yeah. Here you go. It's written.
Right. So Ange leads Forest to the Euro. Like he's going to get to defend his Europa League title that he won with Spurs last season.
Well, there you go. Yeah, even better.
There's all this poetry involved in it, but looking in there, like guys who I think will be there at the business end of the season. There's obviously Roma with Claudio Ranieri, doing really well, as we said at the moment in Serie A. Freiburg, who I think are a good club. Bologna are always there and there. Sorry, they had a great season last season in Serie A, so we'll see how they do in Europe. But who else is there? Because the German clubs in Europa League tend, unless they happen to have a club like Leverkusen on fire.
Yeah.
It seems to be the Italians and the English who own the Euro. Like, because the Spanish clubs, we've got Real Betis and we've got Sevilla.
Yeah. Betis is a good shout, and they're doing well. So
Betis is definitely a good shout.
Yeah.
But they are going to be playing in a really competitive La Liga. Like, I think the getting those European spots are gonna be quite tough. So we'll see. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think Betis looks like the best. Looks like Betis. There's only the one Spanish club in the Europa League
Ah,
because I don't see anything else.
thought there
Unless I'm.
was. There was one other. Or was there only one? You might be right.
Yeah. Maybe they were playing in a qualifying round and got knocked out.
Ah, yeah, possibly. Find that in the matches.
Oh, Celta Vigo. There we go.
Oh, there was one.
It's just so unusual to see Celta Vigo.
Alright, yeah.
Okay. So
Oh, yeah,
Celta
yeah.
Vigo. Betis, I agree with you. I think they're a good shout. Obviously, Betis, Forest, Aston Villa, Roma,
Yeah.
Bologna. They're all a good shout. But I am gonna pick Forest.
Yeah.
I like them the best at this stage.
Yeah.
And finally, the best league, the Conference League. No games played so far. If Crystal Palace, who are the biggest threats to Crystal Palace? I'll rephrase that because I think we're both gonna predict Crystal Palace.
Yeah. I think
Or
so.
should we play? Should we play the which country game?
No, I think we're way too late in the thing for that. Maybe we can do it next time.
We can do it next. Okay, I'll ask you one because I've asked you this before, so let's see if you remember.
Oh, no.
Lincoln Red Imps.
Oh, you
Where
have
are they
asked.
from? And they have the record in European football for the most number of consecutive league top tier titles.
Oh, they're who's what's it? I know where they are.
Like based on their name, you should be able to narrow it down. It's obviously
Yeah.
a country where they speak English as
Yeah.
the main
Gibraltar,
language.
wasn't it? Gibraltar?
It's in Gibraltar. That's
Yeah,
right. And
I
the
remember it
playwright-
from last time. See? There we go.
Here we go. Pun intended. That was rock solid.
That was rock solid.
You remembered something I said to you while you were like tuning out because you're like, oh, Imran's talking about some random thing he thinks is interesting.
I remember
He's never gonna bring this up again, so I can safely ignore this.
Possibly more impressively, I remembered something from about a year ago. Look at that.
Yep. But yeah. Speaking of Lincoln Red Imps, obviously we're gonna watch to see how far they can go. It'd be incredible if they could make the second round.
Yeah.
But our usual suspects. We've got Mainz, we've got Fiorentina, we've got Crystal Palace, obviously.
Yeah.
I think if I'm gonna pick a shout for the team, I think will give the most trouble to Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace's biggest competitor is probably, in my mind, Fiorentina.
Yeah, that's who I would say as well. Like,
Yeah, and they're always like at the business end of clubs at these European competitions, as we've been following in the last few years in the Euro. They're never really quite in the Champions League, but Europa and this Europa Conference League, they're there and thereabouts at the Vallecano as well, maybe.
mm,
I mean, these are the four. Okay, I'm gonna say it's Fiorentina, but yeah, those are the four. I think they're thereabouts. Are gonna be the final four in this in the Conference League.
fair enough. Yeah, I think so too.
Alright, so before we go, I'm gonna give you another one, just because this is. I'll give you a clue from. If you've played your Civ 5, should be giving you enough hints to figure where this one is. It says Jagiellonia Bialystok. It might be Civ 6, because the first name of this club
Yes.
is named after a ruler from the country, a famous ruler from that country.
From the country, yes. I know the ruler.
And Bialystok is obviously the city.
Yeah. That's Poland?
That is Poland.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Nice.
Look at me. I was like, that's Jagiello. That's the Polish leader, right? Yes.
Yep. Nice job.
Go me. 2 from 2. We don't have to do any more. We're good there.
2 for 2. Yeah, well done. Anyways, I think on that note, we're gonna say that's all we have time for today. Thanks
Yeah.
very much for listening, and we look forward to hearing from you next time.
Catch you next time.
Well, that is the end. Thanks for listening all the way through.
If you liked what you heard, we have even more. 9642 Discord and a Buy Me a Coffee.
Pretty sure it's Buy Me a Beer.
Oh yeah, buy me a beer on buymeacoffee.com.
In both these places, you can talk to us, and we may even listen, especially if you do buy a said beer or coffee. I might still be confused.
Yes, we're easily bribed. All links are in the show notes below.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
This is on YouTube.